I have no problems with, doing investigations of politicians. I really don't. We know that there is a lot of corruption in Washington, D.C. But when you have the unit that is supposed to be monitoring public corruption going after the people that you pretty much know aren't that corrupt, if they are even corrupt, I doubt very seriously Josh Hawley is that corrupt, if at all, for the simple fact of that the man loves going after public corruption. He doesn't care who he's going after. He is willing to go after folks that the left has a problem with. He's willing to go after those that the right has a problem with. He loves going after corruption. So why is he being monitored by the CR-15 unit? It makes you wonder. Kash Patel has shut this unit down. He's fired the agents that did these things. Now, I don't know about the others. Some of them I doubt very seriously that they were, but it lends itself to showing the corruption within the FBI. It shows that the CR-15 unit was corrupt itself. We're going to look at what's going on, and it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty at all. But before I get into it, hit like, hit subscribe. I covered government from state, local, federal, all of it. And there are a lot of people that keep trying to attack me because I try to highlight those things that people aren't talking about. So, like I said, hit like and subscribe and let's get into this story.
Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself.
So let's get the basics of this case. The FBI CR-15 squad was a public corruption unit within the Washington field office, which was recently dismantled after it was revealed that they had allegedly monitored the communications of Republican lawmakers. On October 25th, in October 2025, FBI Director Kash Patel announced that the Bureau had fired agents and abolished the squad in response to the allegations. One was the Arctic Frost Probe. According to documents reported to Fox News, the CR-15 squad was involved in an investigation known as Arctic Frost that began after January 6, 2021 Capitol riots. The documents, dated September 27, 2023, allegedly showed that the squad used FBI Cellular Analysis Survey Team, CAST, to track phone records associated with GOP senators. Reports indicate that nearly a dozen Republican lawmakers were allegedly monitored as part of the probe. These include Senators Lindsey Graham. Now, Lindsey Graham, I don't know if the man's corrupt, but the man sways with whatever breeze that his advisors tells him is the power of Washington. He doesn't actually hold many valid points. He's too busy swaying to try to make sure that he's sitting there somewhere in the power. He's willing to help the Democrats if it will get him power. That's all he is. Josh Hawley, I've already talked about him. Here's a man that goes after corruption constantly. Ron Johnson, Cynthia Loomis, Dan Sullivan, Tommy Tuberville, Marsha Blackburn. I can guarantee you if Tennesseans thought that she was corrupt, she wouldn't be in office for very long. Tennesseans do not like corrupt politicians. We've had too many of them and we're fed up with them. And Bill Hagerty, as well as Representative Mike Kelly. So basically, they're going after a bunch of folks that probably should not have gone after, because the few that I already can tell you right off, yeah, they're going after the wrong people. FBI officials told Fox News that the monitoring tracked who the lawmakers called, along with location of the calls. The calls were likely related to the vote to certify the 2020 election. And yet, somehow, it was certified that Biden was the person who was going to get elected. Following the revelations, Director Patel stated on October 7, 2025, that the FBI had fired the agents involved and dismantled the CR-15 unit. He called the monitoring baseless and promised further accountability measures. Several Republican lawmakers, including Senators Blackburn, Haggerty, and Hawley, condemned the alleged surveillance and called for investigations. Some referred to the monitoring as political weaponization of the FBI, which it was. An NBC News report from May 2025 noted the squad was being folded as part of a broader reorganization of the Washington field office. At the time, FBI officials stated that the public corruption cases would still be pursued. Well, of course they would be, because Kash Patel and the rest of them are tired of the corruption. Now, according to Patel, we are cleaning up a diseased temple 3 decades in the making, identifying the rot, removing those who weaponize law enforcement for political purposes, and those who did not meet the standards of this mission while restoring integrity to the FBI. I promise to reform, and I intend to deliver it. Patel also posted about it on X, saying transparency is important and accountability is critical. We promised both, and this is what promises kept looks like. We terminated employees, we abolished the weaponized CR-15 squad, and we initiated an ongoing investigation with more accountability measures ahead. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino replied to the post and echoed Patel's message. We promised you transparency and accountability. We will continue to deliver on these promises. You deserve better. The CR-15 squad, helped former special counsel Jack Smith investigate President Donald Trump, according to NBC News, which cited sources familiar with the matter. On Monday, Fox News Digital learned that Smith allegedly tracked the private communications phone calls nearly a dozen Republican senators. Let's see here. I'm trying to see here. I've got a list here for you. Nope, sorry. This is, yes. And it's part of Arctic Frost. Look, I can guarantee you that there are members of the Republican Party in Washington, D.C. that are corrupt as all get out. I don't doubt in a minute that there are members of the GOP that are corrupt. I also don't doubt that there are members of the Democrat Party that are not corrupt, that are either too stupid or actually honorable enough to not want to be corrupt. But I would also say that there are members of non-corrupt GOP and Democrats that there's staff that work for these folks that are corrupt that can whisper things into the ears of these members of Congress, and the members of Congress are not knowing that these members are corrupt or that these staffers are corrupt. And there is so much corruption up there, it ain't even funny. But Josh Hawley, really, here's a dude that the left should go, hey, he's willing to stand up for things that we believe in, that we think are corrupt. Yeah, he talks against the Democrat Party, but he also does things that even the Democrat Party should be celebrating. Marsha Blackburn, well, I doubt very seriously that woman is. I've talked to people there in Tennessee that know her, and most of them tell me that she's wanting to go after a lot of that. She's part of this group that's fed up with the corruption that was ever in Tennessee and is fed up with the corruption that's in DC. Well, DC, Tennessee, all of them. I don't know Bill Haggerty. He's from Tennessee, so I'd have to look into it. Dan Sullivan of Alaska. Man's Marine combat. He was an infantry officer. He was taught that honorability. I'm not saying that he fully is, but I know what he was trained to be. I can't see it. Tommy Tuberville, he doesn't have to be in DC. He really doesn't. He could be making a heck of a lot more money on TV right now for Fox Sports, ESPN, whatever. I doubt very seriously that he's finding that as a way to become richer. Now, more powerful, sure, but Yeah, he's got his ways of doing it. I don't know Mike Kelly or Cynthia Loomis. I know some things about Loomis that she's got a lot of friends on both sides of the aisle when it comes to her home state. So, I'm looking at this and it's a silly list. It really is. So it makes you wonder what exactly CR-15 was actually attempting to do. Was it another one of those, let's make something up as we go along, like what happened with the Whitmer case? Or is it they were just trying to be political? All of this smacks of J. Edgar Hoover. That's all it smacks of. But hey, a little bit of history shows you the FBI has always been one of those organizations that even when the good people do good things within the FBI, there's a cadre in the background that's wanting to do some kind of evil so they can gain power. But that's how all of DC is. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. So, folks, that's the story that I wanted to bring you on this video. And I just wanted to say thank you again for coming by. Hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff if you don't mind. Help me out. So, y'all have a good day now. Bye.